What is up, guys? This is Vershawn back here with another video. The time to regain your power is now. In this video, I want to talk about how spirituality is a trap. Now, let me start by saying this. Spirituality, it's supposed to be about an individual that's having their freedom to see what works for them, on a personal level. There's not supposed to be judgment in spirituality. It's about freedom and everyone's different path, their journey, the journey that they want to take to see what works best for them. But what I've noticed in the practice of spirituality in the community, it's basically they do the same thing as religion, but yet people are very hypocritical in the spiritual community, meaning they'll say how religion, they're always judging, or you have no freedom, or you have to follow rules. But that's spirituality too. People are doing the same thing, For example, me, let's say I'm not a vegan. Let's say I engage in a lot of sexual activities with other people. This is me using examples. Let's say, I drink a lot of alcohol, things like that. People in the spiritual community, they'll look at me, they'll start judging me and say I'm not spiritual because they set rules apparently in the spiritual community. But I thought spirituality was about each person doing their own thing and doing what resonates with them, what works for them. I didn't know there were rules to spiritualities, but apparently there are rules to spirituality. And this is why I wanted to remove myself from all labels. This is why I don't like having a label, whether it's religion, spirituality. Because I notice the minute I put a label on myself, people will start to have expectations for me. And if I don't meet their expectations, they would start to judge me. They'll start to criticize me, or they'll say, oh, you're not this, you're not spiritual. Things like that. And I think that's very problematic because, again, how people want to move into spirituality because they feel like religion, it's trapping them, but yet they're doing the same thing as people in religion, the same actions, the same thing that people in religion does, people that judge, that have rules. You got to remember, all the rules in spirituality is man-made. Human beings made up these rules, meaning they found something that works for them, and they expect a one-size-fit-all. They expect everyone to do the same thing and take the same exact steps. I'm gonna even add this. Yes, there are benefits in spirituality, whether it's like, vegan, things like that, healthy diet, right? Things like that, of that nature, meditation. But if the person doesn't meditate, that does not mean they're not spiritual, because you have to understand, even though something is beneficial for an individual, you have to understand it may not still resonate with them, even though it's beneficial or healthy. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like there shouldn't be judgment in spirituality. And I noticed I attracted an audience here, right? All types of people onto this channel, and it's my fault, because I take the blame, because initially my channel was supposed to be about teaching about the mind, the subconscious mind. It's always about the mind, not about too much in the energy aspects of things like sun gazing, things like that. So when I started adding these things into my channel, I started attracting different people, and people had expectations for me. They expected me to do this, to do that, They expected me to do these things that, people in the community do, right? And I realized, it's on me, it's really on me. I was supposed to stick to just the mind and the law of attraction types, things like that, But I thought that, I wanted to make my channel like expand. I wanted a variety of things on my channel, to share a variety of things, because don't get me wrong, the things that I practice, they're spiritual practices. Law of attraction, although the mind, these are all spiritual practices, I even put hashtag spirituality in my videos in the description, because all the practices, everything that I share on this channel is spiritual based, So, I don't like how it's so hypocritical to me that people would say, yeah, I left religion because, I don't have the freedom that I want. There's always judgment. But people in spirituality are doing the same thing that people in religion does, having rules and setting rules. And if that person doesn't meet those expectations, they're not good enough. So just because you have a friend, let me give you an example, and this really irks me. So you may have a friend, right, that drinks alcohol, do things like that, consumes, that your friend may consume a lot of it, right? But your friend can still be a great person. That doesn't make someone not spiritual or not good enough. You know what I'm saying? So just because, you got to remember, you got to look at the person for who they are, not just for their habits, some bad habits. Everyone has bad habits. That's point blank, period. Everyone has something that they do that's not so great. And this is true. And I don't like this facade. Once again, I've mentioned this in my last video. I don't like how you're trying so hard to be perfect. For what? Why are you trying so hard to be perfect? It's never gonna happen. And that's what I'm noticing in spirituality. I'm vegan. I meditate. I get into nature. I sun gaze. I do this, I do that. I'm doing all these things. But this person, oh my gosh, they're not doing any of that. They're not good enough. Let me judge them. There's always judgment. The ego always kicks in spirituality. The ego is strong in spirituality. You shouldn't ditch a friend just because they eat meat. You know how dumb that sounds? You know how idiotic that makes you? You know how stupid you look doing things like that? But you want to call yourself spiritual. You want to call yourself, spiritual being. The ego doesn't control me. But when you do things like that, when you judge someone based on the things that they do personally, that's not even affecting you, you can advise them and say, hey, you should try this, but you shouldn't force them. You shouldn't force them to be vegan. You shouldn't force them not to drink. You shouldn't force it upon someone. Everyone's journey is different. And this is what people have to click in their mind. You see, this is what I'm trying to explain here. Spirituality is a trap. You put a label on yourself, you slap a label on yourself, and now everyone's gonna have expectations from you. This is why I really don't like putting myself into these labels. And as I said, I attracted a lot of different people because I mix up my videos. It's not just about the law of attraction of mind anymore. It's more than that. It's about nature, sun gaze, things like that I've been sharing on this channel. But you shouldn't ditch a friend just because your friend smokes. What if that friend is always there for you? What if that friend is always inspiring you to keep going? What if that friend is always genuine and authentic to you? And take a note of this. You know how hard it is in this world that we live in to find authentic, genuine people? You know how hard that is? But yet you want to ditch someone because they're smoking or they're drinking, even though they're always there for you, they're authentic to you, they're always telling you the truth, they're always trying to help you, they're always praising you, they're always cheering you on to keep pushing on and achieving your goals. But you want to ditch that person because they're not doing the things that you do. That's wrong. That is messed up, And I will be the one here to say it because, I'm going to say it here right now in this video because I don't want to keep making videos on things like this, but it has to stop. If someone's going to come on my channel, right? If you have expectations for me, you shouldn't. And if you're going to come on my channel to judge me whether I'm drinking and things like that, because the habits that I do, just leave. This channel isn't for you if you're going to judge me and have expectations for me. Because that's not what I want. Because I know later on, if I keep, then I know I'll have to put on a mask. I'm gonna have to put on a mask and pretend that I do certain things that I really don't do. I want to be real. I want to be real with myself. Because, once you get on a platform, once you start growing on a platform, it can have an impact on you when you have so many people watching you, so many people having expectations from you. And I don't want that. I want to be free. I don't want to be tied and put on a mask as if I am vegan or if I don't drink. Because the truth is, if someone asks me, yeah, Vershawn, do you do this? I'll be honest. For example, yes, I eat meat. Yes, I drink here and then. Yes, I do these things. I'm not perfect, you know, and this is my journey. I do what I feel comfortable. I do what works for me. It's not about forcing me to do what you do. That's not what spirituality is about. So if you had all these high expectations for me, I apologize for that, because that wasn't the plan. I wasn't planning to attract people onto my channel that's gonna judge me for my habits or try to force upon what they do on me. That's not what I wanted on this channel. I just wanted to help people. That's all I want to do. I just want to help people and share with people what works for me. Everyone, they do something differently which works for them. That doesn't mean it's going to work for everyone else. And that goes back to saying, even though, yes, let's say, for example, drinking is not good for you, just because you know it's not good, that person still may not resonate, you know? It may not resonate. And me, I want to live my life in freedom. I want to live my life with balance. I want to have fun in my life. I don't want to strive to be so perfect, knowing damn right deep down I don't even know what's gonna happen after this anyway. I really don't, and no one does. That's ego if you think you know what's gonna happen, let's say, after death. I don't care if you had a near-death experience. I don't care. If you had a near-death experience, you still didn't die. You're still here. So I don't want to hear that. That is BS. That's bullshit. I don't want to hear, oh, I know what's happening, what happens after death. No, you don't, because you're still here. I don't want to hear things like that, because you don't even have the proof and evidence. You only have information that you have gathered within yourself, you see? And this video, wow, it's 12 minutes long, but I had to say it because, you know, this is just a message to all of you that feel trapped and that feel like you have to keep pretending to be someone you're not. Stop it. Because at the end of the day, yes, when you put on that mask, you'll manifest all these external things quick. You'll manifest it quickly. Money, subscribers, views, whatever you want. All those external things that don't really bring you happiness within, you'll get it fast if you put on a mask and tell people you do things that you really don't do. But you got to realize at the end of the day, the happiness doesn't come from the external, it comes from within. It's better to be genuine and authentic to yourself, because all these external things are man-made. Those are things to just stroke your ego. You got to remember that. But yeah, this is my truth. This is what my message for today. Spirituality is a trap. I advise you to not put labels on yourself. Don't do it. Because there will always be for example, if you see someone religious and they say, yeah, I'm a Christian, right? You're gonna expect them to be doing Christian things, right? Because they put that label on themselves, right? This is how it's the same thing with spirituality. They would expect you to meditate. They would expect you to eat vegan diet, things like that. You see? But yeah, guys, I hope this video helps those creators and people that plan to make content. I hope this helps you, you know, understand that you gotta live your life in peace and freedom, not with the expectations from other people. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you smash that like button, you subscribe to the channel, and you hit the post bell notification so you get a notification for when my next video is released. I hope everyone has a fantastic, wonderful rest of the day. Peace out.